Hey guys, how are you? This is Raven coming to you through Facebook Live this afternoon. I am actually at Cosmic Tattoos in Charlotte getting my brand new tattoo. And so I wanted to talk a little bit more about what we talked about this morning and the post that I made. And when I talked about facing your fears and what is actually fear, basically. Fear is kind of a biological response, actually, and I think that we do a great disservice to ourselves when we look at it as fear as something that needs to be overcome or released or removed, because fear can be something that will really help us to make good decisions. You know, fear is the reason why we don't jump off a cliff, because it looks super fun, but too much fear is what keeps us from being able to make good decisions. So the key to really entering into a good relationship with fear is to be able to check it. Not the more you try to overcome it, the less you are, and a lot of times we end up going in denial over it. But we check our fear. So if you're going to get a new job and fear pops up its ugly head and says, hey, well, we got to talk about this. We got to decide, is this really the right thing? One way to enter into a relationship with that is, first of all, you accept it and you say, yes, this is you validate yourself for having that fear. And then you go in and you check, what are the things that you're afraid of? There's a very good chance that the things that are triggering your fear are things that are for your benefit, they are things that need to be checked. So I'm taking a new job. Have I checked that, you know, the job is really what it appears to be? Have I checked that the salary, that it's really nailed down? That's what I'm going to be able to do. If I'm making less money, but doing something that I love, is it something that am I going to be able to support myself during that money? So fear is going to allow that dialogue. When you have a good relationship with fear, that dialogue is going to start happening, and it's going to be a very healthy dialogue that's going to help you to kind of move past that and move into the next phase of whatever it is that you want to do. But if you decide that you want to ignore fear or you want to overcome it, then you never really have that dialogue, and at that point you are out of relationship with it, which means it has a danger of becoming really, really unbalanced. And that's when we really become our own worst enemies. This is when we make bad decisions, when bad things starts happening, because we just don't do things based on how we feel, instead of based on how the things that are accurate in our lives. So I hope that gives you a few ideas. Once you enter into a relationship with fear and you really change the outcome of how that relationship is going to be, you start looking at it as a tool, as a partner, as you move forward on the things that you are trying to do. So fear can really be very empowering at that point, because you know, once you've finished with everything that you've done, the fear comes up and it brings up all of these things and you check them. You're either going to find mistakes of things that you maybe didn't take into account before, and it gives you an opportunity to fix them, or you're going to verify and validate to yourself that you're really, really good and that you don't need to really do anything else in that area. So I think that being in a positive relationship with fear can be very, very empowering. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the gratitude. Fear is what kept our ancestors alive. Our old ancestors, what I mean, you know, the human race alive, is why we're here today, because people were afraid at some point and somebody ran and they survived. And so it does have a very important role. Even though today we're no longer in a hunter society, most of us at least aren't, it still serves that role in terms of keeping us protected, and even sometimes from ourselves. So too much fear paralyzes you. Not enough fear, you do crazy stuff and have bad consequences. So when you enter into that balanced relationship, then you and fear are buddies, and you can kind of check your fear and say, hey, you know, fear pops up and says, oh, wait, let's think about this, and then you can go and you can check that. And once that's checked, if fear still has its little head up, then you can say, you know what, I've done all the due diligence that I could do, and this is basically the outcome. You know, I've done everything that I could check. So now at this point, it just becomes a leap of faith. But fear is going to put you at that place where you've done the due diligence, you've checked everything that you needed to check, and it's really going to make you overall make better decisions in your life. So don't be afraid of your fear, embrace it, and be grateful for it, because it can be a really great tool. I'm really excited about participating in our days of self-care, and I really hope that you guys will come see us at Shift Charlotte on March the 28th. We are one of the sponsors. We'll be at the very center in the floor, and come see us, come talk to us about what your fears are and how do you overcome it. I'd love if you would post a reply to this video about some techniques that you have for overcoming your fears. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Maybe right